Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Byrne, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, it is stocks dropping temporarily, ladies and gentlemen. The feds have one job to do. Don't worry, the feds are going to come back and help this out. But remember, our deadline is December 31st, 2026, when this was all going awry. Slowly but surely, it's happening right before your very eyes. But don't worry, the rich are still going to get richer, but you have to be on their same frequency. Buy, build assets now. And welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information, who's not looking for information, who you can help. It's going to be all hands on deck shortly. Don't worry, you still have time. What was the requirements before December 31st, 2026? Bank account outside the United States, real estate or business outside the United States. Those are the first two. That's very, very, very important. And number three, 775 credit score or higher, because lending will be a thing. How you're going to be able to survive, that is going to be an asset that you can buy assets with. Don't worry, it's coming. There's way too many people who cannot afford homes, who cannot afford groceries, who cannot afford to start a business. That means things are sliding down a hill and the snowball is just now starting to form. But you guys are going to be well in advance because we do have another initiative, December 31st, 2027, where you got to start thinking about buying assets that sound like intellectual property, source codes, GitHubs, publication rights, publishing rights, music rights, book rights, trademarks, anything that sounds like ownership, then you need to get on the ownership bandwagon. Start forming now. It'll go a long way. And by the way, crypto is not ownership, just so you understand. All right. Now, where am I going to start tonight? First of all, I want to welcome everybody here on this Friday night. This is going to be a short video unless you want to contribute. The chat room's open no matter where you're watching from. But the first things first, because we do PSAs, thanks to Brian P., Mr. Dividend, because Pillsbury recalls two bread products over potential glass contamination. It's essential. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. PSA. Do you know what country you live in? This is in the United States of America. Pillsbury bread rolls are being recalled present of glass, according to the Food and Drug Administration enforcement report. General Mills is voluntarily recalling two varieties of rolls. Some of you buy those rolls, so you might want to know about them. Pillsbury bread rolls, hard roll dough, 180 units, 2.25 ounces. There's UPC codes, but I'd rather just give you the page that you need to go to in the chat room. This way, anybody that watches this on replay, It's in the chat room. If you can't find the chat, the live chat that is, then what you do is go to the first comment, scroll to the left or scroll to the right. Menus come up depending on what platform you're on. You tap on that, and then it opens up the live stream platform where you can now get a look at this information. So, no matter where you are, several of you are going to be able to get this because, once again, it looks like we're on several platforms. That's what we do here. This live stream won't be that long this evening. It's okay. I've been working. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing some other things because, I do what I say. We need intellectual properties. We need trademarks. Trademark for your logo, trademarks for your name. You need domains for businesses potentially. You have to get it all. It's called real estate, assets by real estate. And I'm not referring to the real estate like homes and land and things like that. Real estate comes in several different forms. If I have domain names, that's real estate. If I have a crypto.com name, that's real estate because I can actually put up a website on our .crypto domains or ssnlifestyle.crypto. You can send crypto to. I don't have to give you alphanumeric characters. That is real estate. So once again, that's what we're talking about. And also, I'm putting in the chat room the Pillsbury story, courtesy again of Mr. Brian P., otherwise known as Mr. Dividend. I wasn't able to get into my email for the past seemingly 2 or 3 weeks. Finally, I could get back in, and we have all kind of PSAs we need to talk about off the top. They're simply the reason why is because you are in danger, my fellow humans. Some of you may be going, "Oh, he's over the skis. He's over the top. He doesn't know." Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Do you think deregulation, where you can put anything in your water, anything into your soil, that they allow you to consume products that they know are that cause health problems, you think that has a good outcome and you think they care about you? And you think the same people that will not give you health care, that vote against health care for all, is watching out for your best interest? This is mind boggling. It's almost like Stockholm Syndrome. In fact, that's what I'm beginning to believe. Half the country is on Stockholm Syndrome. They feel we might as well go along with the program, regardless if it reduces your life expectancy or your children's life expectancy. But once again, that's not part of this asset situation. But I will tell you this: assets are built on education. Assets are built on what the people that are growing older now, who are currently young, are smart enough to make sure that their future is brighter than dimmer. You should think about that while we're talking about it, because here we go again, because we got a lot of DEI situations. 5 foods to avoid during this. I don't know even how to pronounce this. Cyclosporiasis, or something of that net outbreak, according to gastroenterologist. Wow, food problems once again. Jesus, ladies and gentlemen, a parasitic intestinal illness caused by a parasite. Oh my. Oh my. I think a friend of mine had this. that's health is wealth. That stuff, it can deteriorate rapidly because a lot of people out here do not understand pharmaceutical products are not good for humans to intake. And your government knows this. But they would rather give you pills knowing that you'll be back for whatever else that pill causes. They know you'll be back. You're a customer, you're the mark. So anything that you can do to make sure you don't see a doctor, make sure your body functions properly. You have AI, you have Google, you have no reason not to be able to try to fix whatever's wrong with you by natural consumption of good foods, nuts, seeds, vegetables. Come on. But now our vegetables are tainted, which is a problem. You knew this was going to happen. Our water supply is going to be tainted next. So good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get into the situation at hand because it looks like we have a few people that are going to be in the house. And here's one now, post-retirement travel. He was doing the, oh yes, let me back up the truck potentially today. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello all, let's do this. He's a member of the channel as well, which I humbly appreciate because he has that icon next to his name. And I appreciate your support, the investors here, real estate, stock market, and beyond. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Investing in yourself is going to be the key. You need to start now. December 31st, 2027 is your deadline. I'm going to put it in plain and simple English. If I know there are 13 people on the planet that own more wealth than half of the population, by default, they can buy up a lot of trademarks, intellectual properties, businesses, land, apartments, homes. They can buy up damn near everything that ordinary citizens, you, the OC, would be interested in, including water aquifers. That should scare you, including farmlands. Acre traders by a vice president and a guy that runs Palantir. Defaulting farms, they're buying them up, which is your food supply. Just checking for the people that understand where this is going. So this means you better get your assets. They come in all shapes and sizes, and you better start thinking about how are you going to grow food? How are you going to garner some electricity? How are you going to keep things nice and cool and refrigerated when electrical bills continue to skyrocket? What are you going to do? Does that mean I should invest in electrical companies? Some would say yes. That's on the stock market. You can get in. And then some people would say, well, we're trying to design something so we can help people. Unfortunately, I designed something that can make a hell of a lot of money. But I don't know if I can bring people along for the ride in any capacity, which is sad. But I do know this. If things go according to plan, then it looks like we'll have to help financially. Assets. You gotta buy the assets. That is the key right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, look who else is in the house. Another investor's here. DIM Pals, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And the investor brings his taglines. Good evening, everyone. Health is wealth. Wealth is health. Exactly. It's number one on your list because nobody's coming to save you, ladies and gentlemen. And you better be the CEO of your life because otherwise you're going to be a fired CEO when the rest of your family and loved ones come down with illnesses that you cannot predict, such as what we just described. It's happening right now. with the intestinal situation going on with food products. Did I not tell you this was going to happen before? I think I did. I think we talked about this before. You got it, backed up the truck today. You can't let go of this opportunity. Red days create long-term wealth. He's exactly right. And by the way, the headline, the Federal Reserve has one job. That is to make sure the stock market continues to go up. They are running out of options because they are sitting here spending $155 billion a day, which we don't have. That's what our government, this administration is doing every day. And guess what else? We owe $24 billion a day in interest. But they keep printing money. Do you know who this falls upon? You, the OC. Do you understand that we don't have the money, nor the capacity, nor the manufacturing facilities to cover this based on any sort of taxation? So therefore, where are they going to get the money from? Come on, people. Your bank account, your brokerage account, your property, seizure because you can't pay your property taxes, which the Supreme Court said, oh, so what if you owe 10 grand and your house is worth 500,000? The city can actually sell it for whatever they want. Over a $10,000 bill. Did we not tell you that a home is a liability? Yes, I know you have to live somewhere. But all I'm saying is now they're using that to get money in the coffers of cities, counties, states. It's not going to work. By refusing to tax the wealthy and the rich and giving them tax cuts and tax breaks, that means you're going to be paying for it one way or another. I don't really care what state you're going to move to that has no state taxes, because that means there's going to be infrastructure problems if there's no state taxes. That also means that other things have to cost more to offset no state taxes. And by the way, since we know health is wealth, did you guys know, in case you missed this channel and seeing how we don't get out much, we're suppressed. Can you guys Google? Can you look up yourselves? Can you believe there's such a thing that somebody actually checked life expectancy in red states versus blue states? If I told you that people live on average 10 years longer than people who live in red states, wouldn't you say that would indicate there's an issue? Less taxes, no concern of health care. I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it for the start. But again, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's out here protecting your ass. I don't know who people think they are. Even the privileged ones think that somehow they're going to be above the fray. You're watching it right now. Every time you go to the grocery store, does it really matter what you look like and how much money you make? Because you're still spending more money, regardless. But I will say, I'd rather spend less money. I'd rather do common sense solutions. The common sense solution here is you better get your assets now. The window is and doors are closing. They're not fully closed, though. That's the beauty of it, because you can always go to findhelp.org and get some help. Put in your zip code, American citizens. Findhelp.org. You need help on a myriad of things, they'll go there and get it. Hey, boss, businessa in the house. Another seamless genius is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream, and brings her tagline this evening. Hey, boss and SSN fam, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Hopefully you and the fam have been doing things, and I know business is here. She likes her asset classes, and she has always something going on that has to do with the money-making adventures, and I love it. Very happy to see you once again. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, it looks like another good Friday. Superstars are in the house. All right, let's go. I know she has something new. Always, because, ladies and gentlemen, part of building and getting assets also could be business related or assets. How you structure those assets. Let me ask you something. Here's this very simple. We talked about this before. I'm going to ask people watching right now. Here's asset class, asset protection 101. Right now, you pass away. Do you have a will? You say no. Guess who determines your estate and outcome? That means that whatever the laws are in your state or province or where you live, country, whatever their rules are regarding your assets, you're at their mercy. It will be mercy because your family will fight over the assets, and that means you're going to need attorneys. So that's the first thing to ask yourself. So Asset Protection 101 says you should at least have one thing, a will, so you can dictate where things go. Okay, but the problem is, once again, a will goes to probate court. So the will could be considered semi-asset in my book. At least you designate where things go, and the court has to, generally don't have to, but generally will go with what the will says. People can contest it and fight and pay lawyers, yes. But do you really want your family fighting lawyers? So then one of the next moves is people go, well, I'll use a revocable trust. Okay, fair enough. It's still part of the estate. You can dictate where things go. You're still alive. It's part of your estate. Hopefully nothing happens to you. But that still leaves things open because, once again, it's part of your estate. So if you got sick and go into the Medicaid or Medicare doctors and hospitals and long-term cares, they can do clawbacks to your estate because it's a revocable trust. So that's kind of, but then if you do the nuclear option and did irrevocable trust, asset protection, you put your assets in there, and now the same thing that happens with Medicare, Medicaid, lawsuits, whatever, now it's not part of your estate. So those assets are protected and really don't have to go through probate either. Unless, of course, you have trustees that want to fight, then, of course, that goes to they got to pay their attorneys, but at least the trust would be administered according to the trustee rules. You see how this works? That's asset protection. Some people disagree. But let's go with other things. Asset protection. You have money. You have a bank account. You have a brokerage account. Who do you have as the beneficiary that automatically gets the money? That's right. You don't go through probate or anything at all. That's, again, asset protection opportunities for the ordinary citizen. So there you go. In a short spiel, that's one way you can do asset protection on several fronts. James Way's in the house. Very happy to see you once again, and welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline, hello all. Glad to be spending my Friday here. Thank you so much, man. Me too. The rent, once again, is too damn high. And guess what? It's going to keep going higher because I know at the end of this year, our taxes are going to be higher. The insurance bill, if you can get insurance, is going to be higher. Those two bills are going to be high. You know the food's going to cost more. You know your energy bill is going to be higher. You know your cable bill is going to be higher. Basically, a lot of things are going to be higher. Unfortunately, though, are you going to be able to make the extra 10 to 20 to 30% just to stay even? That's the $1 million question. As more people get into a bad situation, is what's going to end up happening. All right? Just hear me out. Folk, happy to see you, Jay's Way. Businessa, you know me, boss. I know. Building my brand, sir. What's going on, fam? Exactly. If you can build a brand, that is an asset, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is all about stocks are dropping. Do not be afraid. Here's what's happening. In fact, I better get on this right now because business is in the house and I have to talk about this for a second. Stocks are dropping as according to plan. Some of you are like, Eric, what do you mean plan? Like you knew this was going to? Yes, we knew this is going to happen. This is why 10 months ago, 11 months ago almost now, we started talking about learning how to trade, stock market trade if you could. It's very risky. It's very hard, yes. But you had all this time to learn because their volatility was going to continue to come. So you can make money whether the stocks go up, stocks go down. That is a skill set. That is an asset. So if you still are sitting there and don't understand that, well, let me help you. Because, you know, we always got to help people. We always have the Candlestick Trading Bible so you can learn. See, as months go by and days and weekends happen, that's an asset. Knowledge is an asset. It's very hard. I'll keep saying this. It's very hard. You should study. You shouldn't just go in willy-nilly. So here it is in the chat rooms. You will find the Candlestick Trading Bible PDF. You can download it. So don't be shy on that front. All right. And so you need a demo account. We understand that. Demo accounts you can get anywhere. You can go to tradingview.com and use US regulated trading accounts. You can download the app or use their website and basically get a demo account, which costs you nothing. All right. So that's one way you can do it. Or you can join me at the other spot. I use CoinEx myself. So, oh, hold on a second. I got to put this in the chat room as well. I use CoinEx. So, reason for that is they're not regulated by the United States government. It's that simple. All right. So it's a little risk, some people would say, but I never had an issue. You upload with crypto, you download with crypto, but you can download in any spot you want to. So I'm going to put that in the chat room, several different platforms, and down below in the description box after the live stream in case you're watching this on replay. And also, there's other things that I won't get into, but this has to be an asset for you. You're going to need a little bit of money, but you can refer people to the CoinEx. Little monies you can receive just for referring people, but it is what it is. So once again, that's another asset that you can exploit the system. I told you the billionaires mess up. We know they were going to do this for the next year. 2 years. We knew this was going to happen. This is not even rocket science. This is child's play. That's why we started talking about it about 10 to 11 months ago, where you should learn how to trade. Now, that's not the only asset, though, is it? Like I talked about already. Brian P., Mr. Dividend, keyword Mr. Dividend, stock dividends is an asset. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. He brings his tagline this evening. Happy day, Eric. I hope all is well with you and your family. Yes, it's going well. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. Give it a 1 piece. I love it. And tell others to give it a 1 piece as well, because you know the YouTube gods, the social media platforms, the suppression is real. All right, because we're giving you away. You can fish, ladies and gentlemen. We can fish. Come on now. We can fish. We can eat. Come on. Let's go. Mr. Dividends in the house. You can buy stocks that have dividends to it. Simple ones, JEPI, JEPQ. Simple enough. Um, that'll give you about 8.5 to almost 10% between the two. I can't talk about real estate investment trust at this point because we're going to have a housing crisis as well. And if we have a housing crisis this time, there's no way out. So I just don't know what's going to happen. I do know this: you better be able to make some money. For those of you who can make some money, you will be able to pick up pieces of destruction soon. It was already in stone 3 years ago, 2 years, 7 months ago. We had a 3 year deadline, like I said, December 31st, 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going according to plan as far as I can see. The funny question: what if? I won't get into it because I already knew what was going to happen in America. I know where I live. I knew what was going to happen with our presidential election 2 years ago. We already knew. I was hoping it would turn out different for a change, but it went according to plan. What can I say? Predictability gives you an advantage. Knowing stocks are going to go up and down gives you an advantage. Knowing what's going to happen after the next 6 to 12 months, you know things are going to go bad on several fronts. Are you going to be prepared to take advantage just as if you were in the billionaire and millionaire class? You don't have to be, but at least be in position to take advantage of great deals. Those are going to be assets. Recall news. Yes, Brian P., I took it over a couple of recall news. The cook temperature, that's right. We talked about one or two, the food, the gastro. You know, I knew somebody that had a problem. They had this. This is crazy right here. And by the way, it looks like I didn't put this down in the chat room, which I got to. I have to. Got to. I have to do this right now because I missed a few spots. Yeah, so emails back up, man. I got two of them out there that you were kind enough to send me, and I received. I can't believe it. It's something switched. Yeah, I knew they were doing some crazy blocking. This is crazy out here. Oh man, that's nice. Inexperienced inspector leads to the demolition of the 1 billion harm in Las Vegas. Are we serious right now? Wow, that's on YouTube. Can't break that one out. Wow. Popular dog food brand recalled. Jesus. You look, if they're not going to care about humans, you damn sure know they're not going to care about pets. Let's get real. In fact, a friend of ours had to take their dog to the veterinarian. They come back talking about it was $1,300 to $1,500. I was like, what you? I was like, this is crazy. Popular dog food recalled nationwide may contain sharp metal Oh my goodness, sharp metal fragments, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Yet this thing I've been preaching it. You live in a rural country, but yet seeing a slow decline. You know what is very interesting? Oftentimes when you do something, it seems like it's just minor. But if you were gone for a year and came back, then you would be like, what the heck's going on? There's a big difference when you're getting slowly into a bad situation because it just seems like, nah, okay, it's happening, but not really. Like I said, it's sickening. Okay, Food and Drug Administration that Pedigree recalled 2 lots of canned wet dog food. High protein. Pedigree can high protein chopped chicken and duck flavor for dogs. 13.02 ounces. High protein. This is crazy. I'm telling you, you guys, please take care of yourself and your pets. So again, courtesy of what's this? Do not support commenting. What? What is this? Oh man, I'm getting blocked now. What's happening? Huh. They're trying to block me. That's interesting. From putting stuff in the chat room? That's new. A message came up but then allowed it. When did they start doing this? Interesting. All right. I see they got games. So hopefully this is going to help out a few more people because the recalls game is off the charts. Fragments, metal fragments. I mean, this is so bad, ladies and gentlemen. I swear, it just keeps going, just won't stop, and there's nobody coming to save you at all. The current administration is worrying about I don't even know what they're worried. Oh, election interference. Um, I I'm like, you have no proof. After 5 years, you're still talking this nonsense. You had every right the other night to show some proof again in black and white. I don't want to hear stuff that you manufactured. I want the actual proof from voter rolls or something. I don't want to. Your own guys from Heritage Foundation says that they did over 1 billion votes and it's 0.00042 or something crazy like that number, meaning it's so rare. Like, this is crazy talk, man. Having you guys worried about nothing, but trying to take your rights away at the same time. Okay, what is this? Oh, okay. I thought it was something else. Um, okay, Brian P. I only got a few of those. Oh, yeah. Well, we knew this. Again, these data breaches are going to continue to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to tell you right now. Fidelity data breach settlement, how to claim part of the 2.5 million payout, get your little 50 cents or whatever. Um, I'm just going to put a link in the chat room because this is going to continue to happen. I'm just going to tell you right now. Listen, I'm just going to, I can't even. The government of the United States and other governments around the world, they are trying to get people's information. It's not good enough that you have a little freedom, but they're trying to make sure they know where all your ducks are. So you may say no big deal. They know where my bank account is. They have my social security. I filed my forms. I filed my brokerage. This is what they are doing. They're mapping out where everything is asset wise because when you're a broke ass country like the rest of the countries around the world, they're got to start stealing, which is not a thing. This is not something that they really care about. Stealing and theft is a thing. The same descendants of the EU go around the world thieving, stealing, robbing. What part of this don't you understand? And don't just think it's the descendants of the EU. It's going to be everybody, every country, every person for themselves. All right? When you have 3,000 billionaires, 65 million millionaires on the planet, that's it, out of 8 billion people, what could go wrong? So you understand that these people, less than 70 million people own more than 3/4 of the wealth on the planet. That means there's a whole bunch of 6 billion people, 7 billion people sharing the remainder amount. Actually, it's 8 billion. But 8 billion people are sharing the remainder of whatever's left over. That doesn't leave a lot. And seeing how humans always take out and look out for themselves first. Other humans are just the casualties of asset taking. Just remember that. So when you have these breaches, it's going to be by design. Palantir is already breaching. Just so you know, you're going to have AI surveillance, just like China. You're going to have AI going to your bank account if you crosswalk, jaywalk. Anything that has to do with financials, they're just going to eventually take it and then act like capitalism's better than communism or whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, do you even live in a free country at all or in a free world at all? Fidelity breach, back to that again. This is going to keep happening. The reason why is because all of these tech companies, all of these security companies, the scammers as well, they are actually looking into everything that they can exploit. The funny part that I've been asking ever since 1975, how come no hackers are helping the ordinary citizens? How come they're not going into the credit files and making sure everybody has the 775 credit score? Wiping their credit files clean. This is what I want to know. What are these punk asses out here doing? I knew I should have just stayed being a hacker too. I just can't even believe this. What are you guys out here doing right now? And why are you letting the FBI, why are you letting them hide the Epstein files, hackers? What is wrong with you guys? You can get in the CIA, FBI files since 1970 something. This is 2026 and you guys can't get the Epstein files? Seriously? My God, man, let me start talking some smack. Good grief, man. You guys are pathetic. Okay, enough. They're like, Eric, we're going to hack your stuff. I know. Our cat has been throwing up a lot more lately. There you are, DIM pals. That's exactly what's happening, man. And you got to be careful out here, ladies. It's no joke out here right now. This is not time to be playing. Stocks are dropping. It's temporary. Don't worry about it. That's why you back up the truck like Post-Retirement Travel said. He's doing the salsa dance today. There's 2 times you do the salsa dance. When you have 1% drops in the stock market, you do salsa dances. When you have a 1% increase in the stock market, you do salsa dances. But that's based on the fact that you bought at the 1% decline. Or, let's go on other ways, the 20% decline. And for some of you who do not understand how this works, I'll use a simple number. You have $1,000 worth of stock. The stock goes down 10%. That means you now have $900 worth of stock. And then the next day, it drops another 10, 11%. So what did you do? Did you buy at the $900 price, let's say? I'll just use that number as a. Did you buy some at 900? Did you buy some at 800? Your dollar cost average would now be around somewhere around 90,000 if you bought on each day, right? So now it's at 80 grand. The stock price goes up 10%. You get back up to around $880. So then it goes up another 10%. So now you're to $960. Even though you didn't get back to $100, you're still positive because your dollar cost average is around $90. So now the 6,000, because the dollar cost average, you are positive. And then if it goes back up like what's going to about to happen next week, it goes back up to over 1,000 up to 1,050. Now all of a sudden you went from $90 average price, goes up to 110, let's say. That's $20 difference or $200 difference. But the point I'm trying to make is that's why you buy and back up the truck, like Post Retirement Travel was saying today. So then when it does go back up, because the one job by the Federal Reserve is to make sure the stock market goes up. The Federal Reserve is a group of rich people that formed a bank. Oh, oh, do you know where you live? People, you need to understand history. You really, really need to understand history. The Federal Reserve is nothing federal, okay? They're not a branch of the federal government. They named it that so people would be oblivious. It was easier back in the day when all there was newspaper articles. Now that there's social media and people can talk about it, it's not hidden anymore. But still, people don't understand the Federal Reserve is not federal. Just saying. All right, let's go. Did you see the U.S. Mint to make $1 gold? What? $1 gold coin? What? What? With Trump's face on it. What the hell, man? Hey, man, you want me to have a bad evening? Mention that clown again. I'm only playing. It's just amazing. It's shocking. It's not shocking. It's at this point, the depravity of nonsense is just, there's nothing they're doing to help Americans. Zero. Zero. Saying tough luck. It's patriotic. This is nonsensical clown shit. Again, I'm sorry, kids. I had to curse because this is so much clown nonsense. It's ridiculous. This reminds me of 1930s when the federal government's telling people, "Hey, it's patriotic. Let us have your gold. Turn in your gold so we can give you some of this phony paper, this monopoly money." And people were like, no, we're not that dumb. We'll melt it down before we give it to your sorry asses. Because we know the Federal Reserve is going to want their money back somehow for that loan they gave the United States government, that they can print money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy stuff right now. You are in danger. We're trying to stop you from being in danger. You're going to have to get yourself out of danger. Feds have one job: buy, build assets now. That includes businesses. That includes intellectual properties, trademarks, patents, any skill set you have that can produce an intellectual property, meaning even if you have a story to tell. Put yourself in front of a camera and make a story. And you know what else? We are in the age of AI. You can put on a recording your life story, your family's life, your mother's life, anybody's life, or make up a story. You can have a book and a video made by AI. Now, I will say, they cannot be copywritten, but you still can put it on platforms and sell it. Just saying. Anybody can copy it. Anybody can resell it too if you do AI. So there's that. But the point is, that's why you normally write it, type it, and you copyright it. But you can't copyright AI. It's just so you understand the playing field currently. So you can do what I just said and create that AI stuff, but unfortunately, it's not going to be an asset. It's not going to be an IP. Unless, of course, you were a programmer and you programmed your own artificial intelligence, machine learning prompts. You used your own software that you actually have recorded in your source code in GitHub. That's an IP. Then all of a sudden, you own it. You produce it. Somebody else uses your stuff. Now, that is a copyright infringement. I get your money that you're trying to collect for this stuff that you use, my material and my source code and all that. You understand where I'm going with this, ladies and gentlemen? Do you see where we're going? So it's not out the realm of possibility that I can record my story, make it an Audible book, copyright it, not using artificial intelligence, copyright it. So now, if somebody decides to use artificial intelligence using my voice, I have it copywritten. Trademark would be nice too. I have it. You owe me money. Sorry, publishers, send me my check, especially if the person released it. Send me my check because the video you make can't be copywritten by the other person, but the underlying Audible, that's copywritten. Trademark could be. So therefore, your intellectual property means you get paid. Meanwhile, somebody else is putting it out there for you for free. I love it. So that's why you want ownership, ladies and gentlemen. Like I keep saying, this is the program, December 31st, 2027. Get intellectual properties many different ways that you can. It'll come in handy later. This is why you have corporations right now, the billionaire class, they're spending 300 million for somebody's music rights, 200 million for movie rights. This stuff all adds up because you can license it. You can let movies or screenplays use your information, your story. You can get compensated down the line. That's what I keep talking about, the December 2027 intellectual properties, trademarks, whatever. You got to get those, all right? Just think about it. Everybody has experiences. Learn to build your LLC business separate from personal. It's key to success. Exactly. You got that right. That's very, very well said. That's right. LLC is not personal. Treat it like a business. So, a lot of people, what they do is they get an LLC and then say it's at my house. That's fair. That's fine. But if you ever get into a dispute where lawyers are going to be involved, they're going to be trying to say, was it really an LLC? Let's go look. It's at the same address that the person lives at. Let me go check this out. What kind of bank accounts do they have? Oh, well, bank accounts under an EIN number. Okay, that's fine. Wait a minute. Do they have an ATM card? Wait, let's see some of them ATM transactions. Was it business use only? Oh my, they were at the store and they used their business ATM at the grocery store. That doesn't look like business, Your Honor. I think we need to pierce the corporate veil. Your Honor, come on. Why are they using the personal stuff on a card that's for business? You see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. You live in the litigious United States. Let's get real. This is not far-fetched. This is what happens. In fact, Google it. It's not that hard to find out the corporate veil has been snatched away from millions of people because they didn't keep it separate. That's how they get you, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how the competition gets you. So when she says LLC, make sure it's separate, you make sure it's separate. Separate mailing address. Don't even bank. You know what? I'll just try to keep this simple. You have Bank A as your personal bank. Bank B should be another bank that you keep your LLC at. Just keep it separate altogether. That'll just make your life easier in the litigious United States of America. All right? Especially when you start kicking somebody's ass. The competition, you're kicking their ass, all of a sudden they're trying to stop you. And they're going to do anything necessary, including dragging you into court with a bogus lawsuit if it's necessary, and only to make sure that you're spending funds to protect yourself. Just so you understand the playing field out here, while you're accumulating some assets and maybe you're kicking some ass as well. Okay, let's go. Corps are actually better, everything totally separate. Yes, this is true. This is very, very true. This is why corporations operate a little different, a lot different, quite frankly. You're going to have K1s. You could be in a double taxation situation. So again, do not take corporations lightly. simply because if you're going to have a corporation, start using probably a holding company environment. That would probably even be a better scenario. And the good news is anything that I say can and be used for or against me because there's AI now. Stop playing out here, ladies and gentlemen. You can actually just put it in and see what's happening. Give me a little rundown. Does this make sense? You know, I'm sitting here watching these ads that pop up, and I see all these business people making all these promises. And at the end of all these promises, it says, join our webinar. Come see our stuff. Again, I ask you, why would a person who says that they're doing all this business, making all this money, doing all this stuff, why do they need my phone number to give me some information? Why do they want my email address? Why do they want me to be on their webinar? I find this the most fascinating thing ever, and it still works to this day. Marketing. I can't even be mad at it because people need help, they seek help, and there's people with solutions. So it makes perfectly good sense why you would charge somebody. And it makes perfectly good sense why AI, when I told it to go look at my YouTube channel at Stop Struggling Now and around the internet, on the podcast, at this, that, and the other, create a website based on what you find. And when it started forming our $497, what was it, 11-week course, I started laughing. I said, you got to be kidding me. I could be charging like $497 for an 11-week course. Then it said something like, I can't remember exactly. I haven't watched Arrow. I haven't launched it. Then it said $97 a month or something of this nature for some other course. I said, geez, I should have been selling courses this whole time. Oh my. AI's doing it. Interesting. So yes, the corporation is better, and jurisdiction of your corporation matters as well. Just keep that in mind. We won't get into that, but that's an asset, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember your domain names, LLCs, the business you're in, whether it's tech business, entertainment business, it matters as far as the valuations go. So when the valuation of a company comes up, they look at it as, is this just a business? Is this 5-to-1? Or is this like a tech business, which could be up to 20 to 25-to-1? Or is this an entertainment business, 10-to-1? It's all different. So there's lanes for everything, which a lot of people don't realize. But tech, because it takes less people to actually make more money with technology, it has a higher multiple. It's that simple. The internet. You can have a website, and from your website, you can spawn, like AI did, 3 different revenue streams, plus the Candlestick Trading Bible, plus selling merch. So that's 4. They add like 5 different streams of revenue on the website, AI did, that I previously never did because the only thing I ever had on there was merch. They said, well, since you're talking about this, you might as well set this up. That's what they did. They didn't tell me that, but that's what they did. They said, man, what are you doing giving this stuff away for free? You should have these courses. In fact, do you want me to make up books to go with the courses? I'm like, is this for real right now? And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, you got ebooks now? Make me some ebooks that goes along with the courses as an upsell. Yeah, let's do it. I couldn't believe it. It was telling me what it wanted to do based on my stuff that we have discussions with. That right there should tell you a lot. In fact, I would advise businesses to put that in themselves to see, hey, mimic me a website based on what you see on the internet. And I thought that was very eye-opening. I kind of felt very good because you guys know we sit here and talk for 6 years plus, and I give you free information that I should be charging for, which is wild, that other people charge for. This is wild stuff when you really think about it. So I thank everybody for being here all these years. And everybody, hopefully you got a little bit of help and knowledge along the way, especially when we have like the Seamless Genius in the house. We have Post Retirement Travel, DIM Pals, Mr. Dividends all here, and everybody else in the house. We have superstars here, ladies and gentlemen, that share their experiences and share their information, like the wheel strategy from Post Retirement Travel, which I still don't know about. But again, I never was into trading stocks until last year because I knew this was coming up and I felt it was a good time, but I did it because it was based on an original thing about a bot. Then I found out the bot was just a marketing ploy, so to speak. It kind of worked the first 4 or 5 days, and then after that, the market, when it started going up, all of a sudden, the spot wasn't going up, making me money. I was like, what's going on? So while it was going sideways and a little down, it was all good. But I didn't know why because I didn't know how to trade. Once I realized what was going on, I was like, oh man, I might as well learn how to trade. That will make my life better. That'll give me another asset that I can use just in case. So that's what this is about. This Friday night live stream. It's just in case, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't know what's going to happen. Well, you kind of do, but stocks dropping. It's only temporary. Don't get afraid. Back up the truck. You're going to have a Monday. Is going to come up. But I'm pretty sure over the next 2 days, there's going to be an announcement where the war may be over for the 20th time. There's going to be something that the president's going to do and make an announcement so the stocks can go up or down or make movement when it opens Monday. We know this. There's a pattern, okay? Just so you understand. So again, this is about you. So I'm going to roll out of here. It's 1 hour. I didn't want to be on here too long tonight. We're going to make this short and sweet, but hopefully I'll see you on Monday night for the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. If there's anybody else that has anything that they want to discuss, please do so now. And hopefully that Fidelity breach. In fact, let me put this here as well in the chat rooms because there are people that do have Fidelity. I'm included. So I don't, again, I will say this because I never ended it about the data breaches. There's a reason it's going to continue to happen. All the tech companies, they actually use web crawlers, spiders. They actually send viruses. Other countries send viruses. They try to send packets through. They do DDoS. They try to get your information. The way you build your websites are all generally, well, not all, but 90% of websites are the same. Where cop season, I see you. Thank you so much for being in the house. The thing is, when you create a password, that password has to be stored. How is it going to be stored is the major deal here, right? Is it going to be, it has to be stored on a server, has to be stored in data. So if somebody can get to your server, then therefore they can get your passwords and they can get your logins too, because your login oftentimes is an email address and your password's also going to be on the server. So therefore, hackers can get through to that system pretty easily. So that's why there's always going to be a data breach, because it's that simple. They don't want to do the right thing. There is ways you can do the right thing. But they want to do this, this double check, triple checks. We can send you a code. So therefore your phone number has to be somewhere in the system. So when people find out they get hacked, or somebody gets their info, they're trying to figure out how. Well, all it takes is a little spider, web crawler, hacker, a myriad of people that can get through onto their servers and get the information. It's that simple. It ain't that hard. So that's the reason all these places that have the money, they're going to get hacked, because people are trying to go through, trying to see if they can get information. Then they go hack the person's bank accounts, go try to hack the person's everything. So that's how it works. So there's always going to be breaches. Like I said, there's ways you can not have breaches, but then they may not be able to track you. And since they can track you, they can sell that information not to hackers, not to bad guys, but to advertising agencies, to companies, so they know how to market to certain demographics and what they're buying and what's hot and what's not. So they use all that information. So therefore, that's why they're vulnerable, because they're trying to sell the information. But like I said, there's ways they can do it. But see, the other way they do it means they don't have names, phone numbers, addresses, and things of this nature, identifiers that is more valuable. So when they're doing all of that, that means once it gets hacked, they can get your info. Versus a different way, which is like pass keys, pass codes, where there is no web info. There's no email address. There's no password. They're not on the servers. Big difference. But see, that's another story for another day. And that's another asset, intellectual property, potential trademarks. So just keep that in mind. Spell Mr. Turner Accounting. I see you in the house, man. That's right. You go to LinkedIn. Go see Turner Technology, aka Robert Speller from the Bay Area, works with those Silicon Valley corporations in accounting. California kid. That's who you go see, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And he's going to be helping me eventually when I'm able to do what we were supposed to be doing. When I'm able to do it, he's going to be helping me with the accounting for our massive, massive program we're going to be doing. All right. So just letting you guys know, go see him, go get him. He's part of the SSN Nation. Brian P says Target recalls Cat and Jack children's sandals due to risk of serious injury or death from choking hazard. Oh my, this is bad. We just checked our Fidelity main and retirement account. All looks good. We are connected to a VPN, but have also enhanced the login security by requiring additional passwords. Exactly, post-retirement travel. And a VPN goes a long way. That's exactly right. Yeah, you have to go two ways. Because remember, the way the internet works is if a website has a virus and web crawlers and spiders and bots, the bots mean when you log in, you're on their software. And both of your softwares can potentially pass these spiders, bots, whatever, through the systems, each other's systems when you log in, especially when you log in from a known ISP versus a VPN. That matters. A VPN could be bouncing all over the place. So therefore they can't track you. Versus if you have an ISP that's a static ISP or an ISP that they know is from a whatever. I won't give anybody any ideas. But the point is, they can see your ISP address. They can actually then go down and follow. So that's what the differences are. This is what he's doing. He understands the assignment, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you got to do. There goes another hint on your screen right now. All right. Right now, there's another hint. How sweet is that? Uh-oh, hold on a second. Let me check something out. I forgot about something. Did I? Hold on. Man. I think people were hearing me. Let me go see. All right. Mic check, mic check. We're back. All right. I found out that they got these little sneaky things that they do now that I know what I'm looking for. All right. Let me see here. Brian P. had something else. Madewell and TJ Maxx are recalling sweaters and nobody checked the tags. What? Hey, again, do you know where these things are made? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is getting crazy, right? Madewell recalls women's sweaters due to risk of serious injury or death from burn hazard. Violate mandatory standard for clothing textiles. What the? Wow. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you live in a third world country, but you don't know it yet. Thousands of bottles of blood pressure medication recalled nationwide. Holy smokes. That's been a thing ongoing over the last year. This is crazy. We had that blood pressure medication recall a few months ago. Is there another one? This is crazy. Wow. Scary. Very, very scary. Wow. Wow. Hold on. Did I give the dog food up? Let's go check. Let me go check something. Spell, let me know if you can hear me. Um, I think, oh yeah, I did put the dog food up. Okay. Blood pressure meds. Jesus. 11,000 bottles of blood pressure medication have been recalled across the United States after the tablets failed a quality test. Jesus. Patients should not stop taking the medication without first talking to their health care. Holy smokes. Wow. What is this? Pregnancy drug recalled after dangerous medication mix up. Holy smokes. Okay. USP 25 milligrams, failed dissolution testing. That means the medication may not dissolve properly in the body, which could make it less effective. Ay, 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 ay. Who is this? Next Star Media Group. Patients should not stop. Okay, this is not very helpful. I mean, that's very. This is not good help. What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna put a link down to go check it out, but it's a weird website. That's all I can say. Brian P. contributing to helping the OCs target calls. Jesus, this is insane. That's not good. Not good. Not. Thousands of bottles of blood pressure medication. Um, yeah, we saw that. That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I'm going to wrap this up, but I just want you guys to understand this is getting a little bit more serious right now. It's all fun and games until we have a rogue nation that is basically trying to make sure that their friends, the wealthy guys, are doing well and taking it off the backs of corporations and individuals and businesses, making sure social services are being reduced to help American citizens. That should be concerning and alarming. They're not coming to save you, they're coming to take from you. We got something from bacteria shuts down beaches coast to coast in the USA. Okay, it's summertime. Some of you are going out here. This is crazy. Elevated bacterial levels are triggering advisories and beach closures from California to Cape Cod as officials warn contaminated water can pose health risk. I don't know what to tell you. We talked about this. Again, did we not say data centers causes contaminated water? Did we not say this? Did we not say that the FD, by reducing regulations to make sure your water supply and food supplies are safe, that would cause catastrophic situations around the world and in the US? Did we not say this over the last few years? This is not rocket science. This is when you hire DEI people that don't understand science and they have a narrative. And they're the same ones that are now going to act like they're going to try and protect you from their F ups. This is what happens when you hire DEI. This is what happens when you think you're better than somebody else based on the skin colors, then based on what your nation believes, instead of hiring the best. Remember all that stuff where people were saying, oh, somebody's going to hire the best people. Yeah, the best people that are their friends, that back the BS. And backing the BS without having the doctors in place. We're going to hire a person that's not the doctor. We're going to hire people who aren't biologists. We're going to hire. I'm like, you're just going to hire DEI morons, is what you're doing. And oh my, who couldn't see none of this happen? This is all going to go down according to plan. This is why you have to be careful about what you consume, what you touch, who you're around. You have to consider all of these things because you live in a country that is contaminated. If they allow you to eat dye number 6, if they allow the certain number of particles that can cause you physical harm in your food or drink, if they deregulate your cattle, your chickens, your birds, all of a sudden you do see a problem. Your food supply, our food supply is tainted. This, again, health is wealth. You're going to have to watch out for everything since we do not have health care in America. That fake ass health care we have right now is exactly that, because doctors can tell you we can't see you for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months. Then when you come see them, oh, hey, you got to have a 2-month more appointment. We can't set this up right now. It's crazy. You're going to need to worry about the surrounding areas, the foods, now this bacteria. And the fact of the matter that they're saying some sort of bacteria is alarming. Are we not going to give a name to this bacteria? I mean, why? Because people can look it up or something? Okay, you might be able to hear this in the background, but this is July 15th. Oh no, it's okay. No lifeguard on duty. This is the worst kind of bacteria at beaches, because you never know what you're going to be taking home with you based on the sand, your shoes, whatever you're wearing could be contaminated. Then you get in your car, then you go home. You just don't know what it is. So again, if I didn't put this out there, this is very serious. This is summertime. People are going to be at the beach. So let me make sure all the platforms have this. Okay. What's that? I can't see it. Something about out at Travis, but it cut off. You saw yeah, it cut off. Okay, good. So you can hear me then. Actual doctor. Now you see a nurse for the same procedures. Oh, yeah, in the military. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's getting crazy out here. And not everybody gets to have health insurance either. Some people can't get health insurance. Some people have to pay an arm and a leg to get it. They can't afford it. It's scary out here, ladies and gentlemen. So you better get on the program. Health is wealth, but get on the other program. Stop dropping. It's only temporarily. Feds have one job to do, and that's to make sure the stock market continues to rise. Buy, build assets now. Those include intellectual properties. That include trademarks, patent. Get anything you can under your ownership. That even means your own story of your life. I don't really care. You're going to need some intellectual properties, at least have ownership, so then you can do level 2s. You can say, hey, let me pitch this to certain places, whether that's documentaries, whether that's movies, whether it's AI can do something for you, as long as you have it copywritten. Either way, you got to monetize something and at least get some assets that somebody might want to use. Who's going to want to use these? The music, TV, print, books, Audible, these guys that can make money by putting it on their platform, because then they have memberships that they can sell people, or what they call AVOD, advertising video on demand, advertising audio on demand. Short stories can be made, otherwise known as vertical marketing. That can be made. So now all of a sudden somebody made a short 30-minute story. They chop it up into 1 minute, 2-minute segments. What do you have now? You could be making money because there's ads that's going to pop up. There's memberships. Again, all of this is going to be the future, and you better get on board. All right? Just keeping that up in your ears, between your ears. I needed important medical care, and while I was suffering, the staff laughed at me and said, "We'll go to another hospital." Wow. 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 This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys have no idea. People are at the hospital. Some are helpful. But if I would have a prediction, I would say 70% it's just another day at a job. They're numb to the idea of trying to help someone. Why? You would say it's simply because they know the system. They know what's happening. When they know when you come see a doctor, your doctor's going to say some BS. He's going to say, "Oh well, we can't do nothing for another 3 months, 2 months," and then you come back, and the doctor says, "Well, let's go take some X-rays, or let's go do whatever that they need to do to lengthen this out so they can collect some more money from the insurance companies." This is the product that we're in. And by the way, billionaires, I believe there's 9 billionaires that own healthcare companies out of 3,000. Just so you know. Right. Billionaires own these companies, healthcare companies. Just so you know, on healthcare, at one time, healthcare was like nonprofit. 50s, 60s, 70s was nonprofit. So it wasn't looked upon made for money until the 70s. Then it was profit for your healthcare woes. All right, let's go. This is not even surprising. This is crazy. Like I told you, from my aunt, constant battle all the time. They don't even have a what I'll just tell you, there's crazy stuff when you stay around a hospital long enough and you see what they do. You could have a doctor works, let's just say 4 days on, 4 days off, 5 days on, whatever, 7 days off. They got crazy schedules. You can have a doctor, let's just say for 4 days. That doctor does whatever they're doing, writes it down, puts it in whatever folders, files, it's on the screen. Another doctor comes in and may read the 4 day, 3 day ago what the other doctor was doing, and then put the patient right back on their previous 3, 4 days ago situation. So as a family member, you got to walk in and be like, "Hey man, what's going on? Why did this change? We just had this stuff the last few days." It's like, "Oh, wait, what?" I'm like, "What do you mean, oh, wait, what? You didn't read the files? This is going on right now." So when you find these horror stories where they say, "Oh, we amputated the wrong foot. We took off the wrong leg. We took out the wrong organ," there's a reason. Because another doctor's reading previous doctors, but they're not reading nothing. They're just looking at some things going, "Oh yeah, I see, let's do it." It's not what you think, even with the wristband on. You know how many times I found them putting medication down for my aunt that she wasn't on? They took her off of and gave her different meds. Then I'm roll up and I'm like, "What's happening? Why does she have the old meds? They switched her to these meds." Well, that's not what I saw. I'm like, you know what? This is exactly why every day you guys drop her meds, the list. So funny thing, I have it. You can see here the last 2, 3 days. Here's 3 days. This is her medication. You're giving her something that was from 5 days ago. That's not what she's on. She had improvement, so they had to switch to this, or not an improvement and had to switch to this. This is what we're talking about out here. So this DIM pals, this is no shocker. That is crazy, Brian P., Mr. Dividend, but this is how our medical system is operating right now. This is why if you had your way, you should want health care for all in a system where the doctors aren't basically there as hired guns to try to extract the most amount of money from your insurance or Medicare. They're not trying to get you better, is basically what this is. They're trying to make sure that you come back. That's why your health is your wealth, and that's why you got to stay on it. Let's go. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great weekend. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years, and please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, and it's only going to get harder. So hopefully some of these things that I told you about, the countdown that we're ending after 3 years or 2 years, 7 months, it's going to be done in 5 months, December 31st, 2027. Hopefully you got that straight. Your 775 credit score, you still got time to do that. Bank account outside the United States, you still have time to do that. You got real estate or business outside the United States, you still have time for that. You want real estate outside the United States, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, all over the world. That's how it is. That's pre-construction property, pre-construction projects. It's all over the world. You want to have be in a place that if you're not going to live there, you want to be able to rent, right? Rent it out. So you want to have a place that has high tourism numbers. That would help. But you never know what's going to happen in the world. I see that there's going to be a reduction, is why I made the 2-year, 7 months ago, 3-year plan, is because there's going to be a reduction. We just don't know how bad, but it's going to be very bad because of what's happening right now. 1 in 7 homes going down in value is in the state of Florida right now. Just so everybody knows. All right. This is going down. All right. The biggest states, California, Texas, Florida, they're going to have housing problems. They're going to have property tax problems. They're going to have home insurance problems. You're going to have health care problems because they have the largest populations without having the money to deal with it. Manufacturing jobs matter. But we can't get paid $2 an hour here. $3.50 an hour here. Sorry. Therefore, we're going to have to be a service country. Just saying. All right, let's wrap this up. Just make sure you stay safe out here because you never know what somebody's going through. There's a lot of duress. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of people going through health issues. A lot of people not knowing where their next meal's coming from. A lot of people that had their electricity turned out today. I mean, all kind of things are happening to a lot, millions of people in America and around the world. So you never know what somebody's going through. So just try to be the best human being that you can be on the planet and respect your fellow other humans. And with all that said, no matter what you do, make sure you keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.